I'm gonna play music.
All right. Slide.
It may go! Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
Eminem podcast.
That's right.
Went over to the dressing room. I want you to keep the fight clean at all times. I want you to protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Touch my
You are now tuning into the M&M Podcast, where sports meets life.
Hey, let you guys know
Eminem.
that the music you're hearing has been done by Ray Vasquez Shula.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Ray.
Shout out to Ray.
Check out our new cover picture.
Got a new cover picture done by Triller.
Yes, sir.
T Sweat.
T Sweat.
Back at it again.
It's here. We live. It's a Friday.
Yeah, man.
Good to go. 1 week before the
Yeah,
Super
man.
Bowl. Got the Pro Bowl this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Back to my hometown. Second hometown, Orlando. My first hometown's got to be Charlotte.
Shout out to our homeboy Joey. Our homeboy Joey.
Homeboy Joey going out there.
Yeah, he's there right now. He's on the way there.
He's on. He went straight after work.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he's on the way.
Shit after work. I've never been to a
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
It used to be in Hawaii. They said
Yeah.
it used to be somewhere else before and then it was stuck in Hawaii for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to make it travel, but they had success in Orlando last year, so I guess they'll ride Orlando until they feel like, not enough attendance or not enough viewership, then they'll move it somewhere else.
I know people really been liking what used to be a big deal when they would head out to you get to go to Hawaii because then it's an experience. You go to Hawaii, you bring your family, your whole family's there. They get to enjoy
That's
it with
right.
you guys.
That's right.
So,
Well, they got that kind of down in Orlando. They got Disney World, Universal. I mean, it's pretty much a tourist attraction in itself. They just don't have the water.
Yeah, I love Disney too, but Disney ain't Hawaii.
You're right. You're right.
Disney,
But Hawaii's also super duper expensive too now. Maybe not for those guys because they get paid, but for the audience that goes over there, it's not a cheap trip
no,
because they got to import a lot of things. Someone was telling me the other day that the price of food is really high, like milk and like basic things.
Yeah,
pretty hefty priced.
Hey, let me tell you why I love this show. We get the because I'm about to go off on a tangent already. I'm about to make a right turn. If we can start on one thing, make a right turn.
Going right and left and straight.
You know what, like the Hawaiian, I guess you'll say, go-to meat is?
Fish,
No. You won't even believe it.
lamb,
Nope.
chicken.
Nope.
Okay, I can't guess anymore if I run out of guesses.
Spam.
Whoa, what?
Spam, bruh.
Hey, that's how to get Samoan strong.
Spam. I said the same thing. I was watching,
That's how The Rock became big. He started with spam. He worked his way to fish.
that is how The Rock became big. Because what happened was I was watching, what's my guy on, he had the show on, No Reservations.
What's that?
Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, yeah,
And he goes
yeah,
over the world.
Yep.
And he was in Hawaii, and he had all like these special seaweed wraps and stuff with spam. And he was like, every restaurant he went to had spam. But then when they talked about it, it made sense. The Army base.
That's right.
You know, they got, I don't know, was Army or Naval base? I know they have bases there. And so that's how that go. That's a little side note.
Hey.
But I'm glad it's Pro Bowl and we got Rodgers. But he's not playing. He made the Pro Bowl, but he's not playing.
Half the Panthers. Only one Panther truly made the Pro Bowl.
Who's
Luke
that?
Kuechly. Shout out to Luke. But now Thomas Davis slid in there. I think Trey Turner slid in there. I don't know who the next person is. A couple people slid in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Facebook for this new feature. While we going live, we can invite people to our live directly.
oh, there we go.
Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg.
Facebook, man. It feels like there's only going to be a few companies left in the world. Google's going to buy everybody. Facebook's going to buy everybody. Amazon's going to buy everybody.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yep. And then Apple's only surviving because of branding. I mean, without brand, they're nothing, to be honest. But that's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows I'm an Apple hater.
I am too. Oh, I don't think we're not even Apple haters.
I can't say I'm an Apple hater, man.
You know what? We're Apple realists.
Yep. I like that.
We Apple realists. Cause I tell people all the time, like, oh, I gotta have my iPhone. This. I say, you know what? Apple is a great beneficiary of brand loyalty.
Oh yeah, and they do. It is. I can't say. They're more in the workplace also, just because of Outlook and things like that. But you can get that on Android.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what people.
I don't even think they have that market. I think it's just brand loyalty. I'm like, what does?
No, because a lot of corporate companies they just give iPhones out just because, like I said,
Brand loyalty.
I can't say brand loyalty for corporations.
Well,
like where we work.
Okay.
I got a work iPhone.
I think that's because the people that run it like
iPhones, probably. I did request the Android device and they told me no. I was like, okay, no worries.
I think it's because they just like.
Oh, I know. I had an uncle who he was a CIO for a company, and he had an Android, and he would get Android for people who want an Android versus iPhone or whatever. So.
Your uncle's an outlier. He's part of the change.
Hey. Not anymore. R.I.P.
Okay.
It's all good.
He was a part of it.
Exactly.
Shout out to the new Samsung commercial. I love that new commercial.
Oh, yeah.
I love that commercial.
Apple people been missing out.
You got to put the headphones on. I didn't realize. I didn't know if that was true or not. That they have a special adapter to put in headphones.
For the iPhone 7 and 8 and 10 or X. Oh yeah. They always 3 steps behind.
I was like, what?
I think their facial recognition's a little bit better, and their augmented reality is something that's different from Samsung.
Okay.
So, where Samsung never had it, neither did too many Android phones.
Okay.
But no flagship phone, Samsung, Apple included, tends to come out with things. They always take them from someone else.
Oh, of course.
Which is even funnier. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Apple was first with the augmented reality, and I think their facial recognition is better than Samsung's. And Samsung had it for 3 phones before, but just not as in-depth and good. Yeah.
So they say, oh, man, those guys are doing that. In my opinion, Apple hasn't done anything, I'll say, groundbreaking since Steve Jobs died.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just look at all the iPhones. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Look at all the Samsung phones. They all look the same now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's changing.
But I remember when Apple said we'll never make. They made fun of Samsung for having big phones.
Yep, they have a commercial.
Yeah,
and what do they have? The
iPhone X.
No, not even the X. No. The Plus.
Yep.
7 Plus, 8 Plus.
So we can't keep up.
And they all full of it too.
We can't keep up.
Exactly.
All right, let's get started with the Brady hate.
Oh,
I said it. Yes, I said it. I'm not taking it back, and I mean every word of it.
Guac toast eating guy.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Guac toast is great.
Man, I hate the Patriots. Haters. You should never say hate. But I can say hate because it's a franchise.
You see what Brandon Marshall said? He said everybody in the NFL should hate themselves for letting the Patriots back in the Super Bowl.
Yes, and also the Jaguars offensive coordinator.
Yep.
And the Jaguar defensive coordinator, because why they stop playing man?
I think they're just getting called too many calls on them. Even if it wasn't a call, they got a call on them.
No, I read something. I kind of agree. They said the only player on there that might have should have got a little respect and you could have played about 5 yards off him was Brandon Cook.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else should have been man.
Yep.
Man.
Oh,
this your man, that's your man.
And if you watch at the end of that game, Jalen Ramsey, he is it Jalen? I think it's Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
He followed Cooks all the way around the field.
Mm-hmm.
It was just him, one-on-one. I'm pretty sure he shut him down because I didn't see Cook get a catch.
Yeah.
It was Chris Hogan, the slot receiver guy.
Yeah.
But see, the problem was Jacksonville was running a linebacker on a receiver. But if you watch that game very closely, I'm pretty sure New England was doing crossing routes, and they were touching the defensive player on the cross, right?
They were.
You can't set pick plays.
They were.
Right? And don't get me wrong, NFL, half the calls get blown anyway.
Oh, of course.
But if you blatantly see it 5 times in a row, come on. And don't get me wrong, Jacksonville was doing the same thing, but they weren't running into defenders. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple New England defenders touching or offensive players touching some defensive players.
You know how they like if this is the line, don't do this. They like to peek over the line.
Oh, yeah.
Jump over the line. Play hopscotch with the line. But the Jaguars still lost the game. The Jaguars should have won the game, and I was pulling for him. It's like now I'm pulling for the Eagles.
Let's go. Philly.
It reminds me of the commercial. Dilly.
They made
Yeah.
one. So Bud Light owes Philadelphia, if they win the Super Bowl, us a Bud Light party. It was I want to say it was Zach Ertz. It might not be Zach Ertz. I
Mhm.
think it was Zach Ertz. He made a deal with them before the season even started. If we win the Super Bowl, y'all throw a party. And Bud Light honors it. They said, we will honor it. If you win the Super Bowl, and they came out with a commercial, you know that King
Yeah.
that does the dilly thing? He has one
What, for the Eagles?
talking to the Philly fans.
Oh.
He said, "What? Ah, man, I'll show it to you later, but you guys gotta check it out. the Bud Light Philadelphia exclusive commercial. He's talking about it.
Dilly.
No, he shouts out Philly. He said, just for you, this one time,
Oh.
Philly.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. My homeboy Mark Johnson. He a Patriots fan. Man, y'all taking the L, dog. Y'all taking L. You can set picks as long as it's on the line of scrimmage.
I'm pretty sure it was like 5 yards past the line of
Hello,
scrimmage.
y'all was way at the line of scrimmage.
I mean, you can't really cross that line of scrimmage unless you're playing arena football and you coming out like 30 yards deep. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I tend to be wrong, and the refs never side with my decisions. So
Well, hey, I think you're right, Mark. You know y'all been cheating since y'all
2000.
since y'all stole that Super Bowl
1999.
from Kurt Warner. Then y'all stole it from the Panthers.
Yep.
All of y'all Super Bowls are
Stole
tainted.
it from the Eagles.
They just and my man had a bum leg.
T.O. played on a broken ankle, put up 200 yards.
Stole it, and was recording walkthroughs.
Yep. They send the people in street clothes to record the walkthroughs. And what happened? Roger Goodell swept it under the rug. They destroyed the tapes. Think about that.
You're right.
They said they destroyed the
Okay,
tapes.
okay.
So if you destroy the tapes, what does that really mean?
It don't matter. They was already seen it, and
What that means there was some hard evidence on there to
Of
say
course.
like these guys were doing something pretty
of
shady.
course. And you tripping, man? Yeah, those cats was dirty. Probably the most dirtiest team in the NFL.
They're gonna have
Well,
stars next to their name too.
You say dirty or the most? What did you use?
Okay, don't get me wrong. Belichick, I still say to this day, probably the greatest coach to coach.
I can agree with that.
I say that because of the fact that he'll push the rules to where they almost look like you're bending the rules.
Oh yeah,
But he's not because he knows he's within the rules.
yeah. He definitely keeps it close.
Oh yeah, there were some rules that they changed on the offensive line that because of the Patriots they changed it the way that they ran their offensive schemes.
I also heard that they changed the rules with what's the
Man, say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
yeah.
Come on. now. Well, hey, he right. They got the refs paid too in the last game. I never seen a ref be celebrating the touchdown too. Yo, we made it.
Tom, we did it.
Hey, you shaking
did it,
hands. He
Cub.
was smiling, man.
I was like, yo, I'm telling you, I just never seen nothing like that in my life
I've never seen it.
ever. So I'm like, all the, I don't think they cheated.
And from what I hear, a referee ran right after game and congratulated Brady first and foremost.
He did.
For anybody else, don't worry, Tom. I got you. Just make sure I get a good
You know
dinner
what
at
I'm
the
saying?
end of the night.
They'll never stop you long as I'm alive.
Exactly.
They'll never get it.
I really hope they pull Ed Hockley out and bring him to this
Hey,
Super Bowl.
hey, I'm about to go cold blooded. We'll never let that cap back in as long as we have you as captain. That Kaepernick boy can stay at the house.
Uh-oh.
Let me start. I think that's kind of pushing it.
You push
But who would have ever thought this country would assassinate JFK? I mean,
Hey.
respect kind of
Hey.
softly. I don't know. Weirder things have happened.
You're right.
Weirder things have happened. But so I got Philly. Who you think the score is going to be?
What I think?
Mhm.
I think the score will be, knowing Philadelphia's defense, and if they come to play like they came to play last week, Bo, I'm going to say 28-17 Philly. It'll
Man.
be close going into the fourth.
I'm gonna tell you what I want the score to be for my own selfish
This is
reasons.
what I want it to be, but I
Okay.
can't guarantee that it's just going to be like that.
I want to score to somehow end in a 6-4 for one game, and I want. And I got another score. I want to end in like a undecided yet. I have to wait until
Yeah,
next
I'm
week.
waiting for that one. I hope it.
But I know for sure I wanted the score to
I
end.
need a couple.
Yeah.
Either that or I hope I start with 0-0.
I don't know how I wanted to end, but I know I wanted to be 6-4 and somehow
6-4 again.
I wanted the Eagles to somehow have 4 and it'd be more than the Patriots 6.
But the number got to finish at 6.
Yes, in a quarter.
Yep.
I take the last score being that. Hey,
Oh,
fourth
I take
quarter,
that too. Which one is that from? Am I in that one?
One I can't talk about.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
6-4. I
6-4.
feel you. So let's just say it'll be 24-36 Philadelphia.
Yes.
And they put up 38
Okay.
last week on a Minnesota defense that was ranked
It's-
very, very high.
It's very possible. I think.
And don't forget, New England defense is trash.
I don't know,
and
bro. I thought
Nick-
Minnesota was
it Nick
ranked.
Foles?
I think was Minnesota ranked number 1 defense
They
total defense.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Jacksonville was number 2. So I don't know who was number
I think
1.
Minnesota was
Did
ranked total. I know Patriots had not Patriots, but
Patriots in the bottom half of the league.
but Jaguars had
They were number 2 for
secondary.
sure. But I think Philly's ready.
I think
Bro.
so too, man.
I think they're ready for it. I just wish Shady McCoy was still there, because
I'm glad he's not there, man. I got my own issues with Shady McCoy.
I guess so. What's wrong with Shady?
Shady McCoy is what I call a tap dancer, bro.
Tap dance.
A
What do you say?
Tap dancer. When it came to the whole cap situation. Now I'm with Minnesota's number 1.
Minnesota, okay.
And Jacksonville's number 2.
Okay.
I'm with you. You don't have to do something because somebody else do it. You should have your own opinions, and even though you might not agree with the person doing, you might
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Who was
like,
Coach of the Year this year, by the way?
it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay.
You know they do that this
It's going to be
week.
Doug Peterson, but go ahead.
I don't think so.
The Eagles
I don't
coach?
think so.
Who's
It's
gonna
gonna be
be it?
Sean McVay.
It could be Sean McVay, yeah. Yeah,
Sean McVay
I can see
for-
that.
for the Rams.
But I'll tell you one thing. Peterson picked up a team that traded away every single superstar on their team and then turned into a Super Bowl winning franchise. Plus, they had no expectation of making the Super Bowl. I mean, when I say they, I'm talking about the NFL and analysts.
Hey, you know
Not
what,
one person probably picked Philly to be in the Super Bowl preseason.
and you know what else they lost? People don't realize. One of the top left D tackles, not D tackles, one of the top left tackles in the game.
Who, Lane Johnson?
Mm-mm. Man Johnson's right tackle.
Oh, okay.
Jason Peterson.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Hmm?
Yeah,
JPC got hurt like
week 2, week 3.
6 games ago. No,
Oh.
it was like mid season.
Okay.
You know that's not a pro.
That's a big
Bowl.
in-
That's
that's
an
a
all
huge injury.
pro.
Yep. That's a huge injury.
That's an all pro left tackle, man. But yeah, we talking about a little football. Say about LeBron. We really got a good subject matter I've been waiting to get to. Y'all share this. Like and share because we about to be talking about some finances later.
Yep.
Like and share. We're talking about some finances and some investment options,
Hey.
if you will. From Two Simple Guys. It's like a podcast. Investment options from Two Simple Guys.
Hey, we should start that too.
That sounds pretty good.
Eminem podcast.
Side
and then we got the financial podcast.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. But
Some advice from 2 simple guys. Brought to you by
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie said he will sit out for
Kyrie Irving.
the whole season.
Kyrie Irving's a buster.
Hey,
I hate it. Hey, I
he
sound
wanted
like a
to get
hater.
out. He really wanted to get out now, and we don't know what situation it was like. Don't get me wrong. I can't say if I was him. If I was him, I would have tried to stay with LeBron and win championships.
Uh-huh.
Because I think they would be a lot better and probably unstoppable in the East if he stayed.
I think his pride got him.
I'm sure it did.
I think his pride got him.
But don't get me wrong, his team is killing it now still on the East side. His team is better than LeBron, statistically speaking, right now. I'm not saying matchup-wise or whatever, head-to-head, but I'm pretty sure Boston's number 1 in the East.
They are right now. But I also think, remember now, there was a time, even last year with Kyrie, Boston was number 1 in the East. Boston finished number 1 in the East.
That was right. And that was with Isaiah Thomas. But Isaiah Thomas got hurt in the playoffs. He didn't even play that series pretty much. He played 1 game, I think.
Against who?
Whatever series he played.
Yeah, but they won. No, he came back for the Cleveland series because the Cleveland was the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, he never came back.
Yes, he did. Remember, his sister died.
Yeah.
He came
And
back.
then he got hurt. I'm telling you, he sat out the whole year. He didn't start playing until January this year. He busted his hip. He had to do surgery now.
We talking about last year.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas when
He didn't finish the whole
when he
series.
was playing for the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying.
He finished.
I don't think he finished the Cavs.
I'm sorry. He finished when they got up 3-1. Then he signed because they was gonna come back. He played that series. He had to play more than one game.
Let's see. Let me see where he got hurt. I don't even know where my phone went.
Yeah, cause I definitely remember that because I remember his sister died the
That
series
was the
before
first
that,
series. Yep.
and he still came back and they were like oh man, that's when I gave him my heart, you know what I'm saying, and they pretty much he got the short end of that stick though. He definitely got the short end of that stick. Yeah, they went off because Jay Crowder was actually going off too.
Jay Crowder, that trash can just got
Yeah.
benched for Tristan Thompson.
He should get benched for Tristan Thompson.
First of all,
Tristan Thompson
Thompson's a
should
trash
get
can.
benched.
He needs
Yeah.
to wake up both of
I don't
those
even want
guys.
Tristan Thompson playing. He need to be in L.A. with his girl Chloe, cause everything she touches has been cursed. And I hate to say that.
It was in the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yeah.
He got hurt in Game 2, never played again.
So he got hurt in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final.
Yep.
But
So
for
he
that,
only played one full game in the Eastern Conference Finals.
okay,
And apparently busted his hip.
he must be knew it was over.
Yeah. I don't know about over. He had to get surgery, bro. He didn't play until this year.
Yeah, Mark. I'm with you. He played, but he didn't play the whole series. Okay, well I didn't know that.
Yep.
He's playing like a bum this year, and Kevin Love gonna put them hands to him. He keep running his mouth.
Yeah, I
Caleb.
heard they made up. They made up.
Yeah, well, you got to make yo. Shannon Sharp said something so disrespectful.
What did he say?
He said if I was K Love, matter of fact, the videos on Eminem podcast we actually shared it. He was like, he said all this stuff that somebody digitally imposed like, Kevin Love face on like somebody's body.
Yeah,
He was like, if I was you, Isaiah Thomas, I'll shut up because you get in the post. The only person you could throw up is a fire hydrant. I'm like, ooh.
Dang.
And while we on it, I got something to say to you too, J.R. Smith. Where have you been this year?
Sitting.
Yeah, since we're gonna have a meeting and Tristan Thompson, you just leave.
Get out of the locker room, bro. They need to do Tristan Thompson like the Steelers did LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
They benched LeGarrette Blount. He walked out the door of the stadium mid-game. It wasn't even halftime, or it was like halftime. I mean, when I say he left in his car and he disappeared. But then he signed the New England, won the championship the same year. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Then New England let him go. No, what happened? Remember this? He won a championship before New England.
With Pittsburgh?
No, who drafted him?
I don't remember who drafted him.
Because what happened was
He got drafted. I don't know where he got
he was
drafted.
like with New England.
Yep.
They let him go. He went to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh cut him. Then he went back to New England and got a ring.
That's right. They got the ring right there again.
And then this time they cut him, and then he went to Philly.
Tampa Bay had him first.
They did, okay, they did.
Yep. I still remember he knocked that dude out in the Oregon game.
Oh,
First of all, why
why do I remember that too? The game was over.
I watched the game.
The game was over.
Wow.
Because you know what, yo, I'm a football addict. That was one of them Thursday night footballs.
Yep.
Thursday
He
night
came
football
and
games.
ran up on homie, and he didn't even turn around. He sucker punched him. Blink,
No,
knocked him out. Must have said something bad.
I'm like, yo. I'm like, come on, man. Yo, LeGarrette Blount is about that life.
Oh, he is about that life.
I think he's from Miami.
No, I don't know where he was.
He's-
I know he played in Rutgers, right? That's why
Yes.
he got drafted to Tampa Bay because Greg Schiano was his coach,
Yep.
and Greg Schiano was the coach of Tampa Bay at that time.
Because he did a lot of good
Just like
A lot of
Doug
good
Martin.
things.
Doug Martin was up there, Rutgers.
Mm-mm.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it was Rutgers with Greg Schiano
Mm-mm.
too.
Doug Martin was talking about Mighty Mouse, right?
Yeah,
No, that's Boise State.
that's Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know who.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Ray Rice. Maybe Ray
Ray
Rice.
Rice
That's
was
what it was. Because Ray Rice was Rutgers and Greg Schiano was trying to
Yeah.
help him get back in the league, but he never even signed him.
Yo, that is crazy how that one. That's a big.
That's a big
That's
one.
a big.
That's a big one. And he kind of dragged her out of that
Yeah, and-
elevator.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then he married her.
yeah.
Tough love.
Hey.
Ooh, I shouldn't have said that joke. That's kind of a tough joke.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject.
Anyway,
Hey,
on a lot of notes.
domestic violence is not.
Oh no,
No.
that's never.
That's never ever a good thing.
That is never a good thing. But if you are defending yourself,
Hey, that's a different story.
that's a different story.
But you gotta prove it, which is a very difficult.
It is
thing
very
to prove.
difficult. It is very difficult.
Look at Chad Johnson. I don't know if he started that.
Yo, God dog it, I love this podcast. Side note, we like two whole bunch of information up here and it just
Yep.
comes out about something else. Tell the thing about Chad Johnson that made me mad. Well, not that mad. Well, I'm mad Chad put himself in a situation.
Yeah, Chad.
The girl.
Chad already has some kind of issue. He said.
Yeah, but he never had. He never had the. he's never put his hands on women.
Yep.
Chad never had those kind of issues.
Nah, I don't
Think
think
about
so.
Chad don't even drink.
That's right. You
He's-
told me about
yeah, he's
Chad.
never- he's
his
never
homies
drunk.
never let him even get close.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said even when he go to clubs now, people think he's drinking cranberry juice.
There you go.
Drinking cranberry juice. But she was like, it was on a show called Ayanna Face My Life. Way side note.
I don't know about that.
And she was on there interviewing the girls. I was like, she's like, you have an attitude problem. And what happened was the girl was like, what happened with Chad? Why did his man put his hands on you? And she was like, well, actually, it's because I was hitting him in his face, punching all on him, and spit on him. Then he headbutted me to get him off of him.
Well,
Where
too-
was the NFL to even? They didn't even say. Think about this.
he got cut from the team right
Yes,
after
they
that.
cut him my team. Think about this. They was upset with Chad Johnson because his touchdown celebrations.
Yep.
That's all they have on Chad Johnson. Nobody never say he didn't work hard.
Nope.
Nobody never say he didn't practice hard.
Nope.
His numbers stood up for themselves, except for the one season
With
in
the
New
Dolphins.
England.
Oh, New England.
New,
New
Dolphins, yeah, man, he was in New England for a year.
I didn't know that. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's my thing. Only thing they upset about his touchdown celebrations now because people love so much. Now the NFL let some guys go.
Hey.
They let you just go, you know. Yeah, I see Mark talking about blunt force trauma.
Nah.
I seen blunt
man.
force trauma gonna come back to hunt y'all. Y'all should have kept him.
He coming for you.
Like, man, we should have kept him. I'm sorry, but
Dang, watch. He's gonna break 30-yard run. First one. He's gonna be the one.
I think so.
I'm sure they start with Ajayi, but he'll be the one that punches it in.
Yeah, because Ajayi is just, you know, Ajayi
Ajayi is good, man. I don't know if you've seen it. He's not one of those guys that if he gets hit, he's just gonna sit down. He tries to get out of the backfield,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not there.
But the thing about Ajayi that I don't like is he's kind of unreliable. I think he's fumbled a little too much for my liking,
Oh yeah.
and he's also sometimes he just get what you can get.
Yep.
Sometimes you need to just get what you can get, and then fall off and let it be what it's gonna be. I hate to say let it be what it's gonna be, but
Oh yeah.
just let it go.
All right, let's get to the topic. The real deal Holyfield.
Let's get to the real deal Holyfield.
The topic for this week.
Hold on, let's give him a second. Hey, fellas, like and share.
Yep.
We want some people to hear this. We about to get into some real talk right now.
Whether you're going to school, whether your kids are going to school,
Yes.
whether your relatives are going to school,
Yes.
or your friends.
I'm telling you guys need to hear this. I'm like and share because I don't think you guys realize how much money. Well, you probably do realize
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of money. I think education is a hustle
I think so too.
for the state.
I can see that.
I think education is a hustle. Well, some places education hustle for a state. All right. So I'll let you start off. You have your bachelor's. I just have an associate's.
Come on, nah. You can't pull it like that. All right. Well, me and Marvin were discussing this at work one day, and I think we came up that our topic was gonna be, is college education really worth it, or at least for the price tag that you get it at? And I did some research, not too much, I can't say, but I read some stuff on Forbes, and it was talking about an education at an Ivy League school versus an education at just a normal state school. And the guy he referenced Malcolm Gladwell, who wrote Outliers.
My favorite authors.
One of Marvin's favorite authors, soon to be mine if I can ever get through a book. Difficult time for me reading for some reason, but that's here nor there. I did read that article though, and it was talking about a person who goes to an Ivy League school, right? Just because it's prestigious. And I'll give you the author's take, because the author's take wasn't following exactly what Gladwell said. But you go to those Ivy League schools, you get, let's just say you did middle to less than average, and then you graduate. And through Gladwell's research, it shows that a student who went to an Ivy League school whose cost is usually in the upper 100,000s or mid 100,000s when you come down to the final pay tag.
Yep.
Or maybe more. Just
and that's just
depends.
education. We're not even including room and board.
Yep, that's just the education
Yeah.
alone. Not room and board, not gas, not flights to come visit you at home, whatever it might be. Hopefully your parents are well off when you do this, or you got a lot of scholarships. So he said that if you finished average or below, that your, I want to say it was median income. It might have been, I hope it was average. It might have been median. There's a big difference, by the way. I'm actually in school doing my master's for stats right now. So that there is a big difference here. And they were saying that it was comparable to someone who went to a regular school, like worse. It was not comparable. It was worse than a person that went to a state college. So he's saying someone who was in a state college and did above average was getting the same amount of money as someone who went to, let's just, for example, say Harvard and was in the top of their class. And it's just the statistics just show that if you're talking about just income in general, and it's pretty much price for performance. You do well, you're gonna get paid. If you don't do well, you're not gonna get paid. That's here and that's there, right? And you go on. He goes on to give more stats and things like that. But the author makes a good point too. The author was also saying there are some things that Ivy League schools bring to the table that a normal state college can't.
Like
connections. That's the first and foremost thing.
That's very
connections. Then they were saying that most Ivy League schools are not students from locally. They're usually students from around the country or the world. That's another big thing because now you got a social game where you got to figure out how you fit in with all these people.
That's true.
Right? That's a whole different cultural mix, right? Because not only do you have to fit in with their culture, they're going to have to fit in with your culture. It's a whole different thing. You learn a lot more in social skills that way. Whereas in a state college, you may hang out with the same person like I did. I hang out with the same kids from high school I hung out with college. I mean, even to this day, if I go back to the O, I hang out with the same people I hung out with since middle school.
But I think that's you, though. I think if you went to Ivy League school, you still probably would be the same way.
Yeah, I might still hang out with the same guys, but I might have made different friends up there as well. Whereas in my local school, I didn't.
But see,
made too many
whether
new
is
friends.
that, I mean, the Ivy League school, or that's because you just went to a school where you're from.
That's probably because I went to where I'm from. But the few friends that I did make in college, they were from Florida. They were not from another state or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I went to University of Central Florida.
Shout out the national champs.
National champions, baby. Woo, woo.
The national champs.
Hey, I don't even want to say it. I'm embarrassed to say what they put on that billboard about Alabama. It is what it is, though. So what I was seeing is it's a pay-for-play kind of thing, right? You get paid for how much you perform. But I've also seen videos and heard things. If you actually look at top CEOs and executives of companies and people who are innovators, not too many of them actually have a degree in general, right? I'll say the upper 1%.
Yes.
When I say upper 1%, I'm talking about like Mark Zuckerberg.
The up 1% that everybody else wants to be.
Yeah. No degree. Why? Because he dropped out and he focused on exactly what he wanted to do in life. Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard, had an idea for a company. Him and Paul Allen started it up, killed it. And you know what's funny? Him and Paul Allen, they went into partnership with Apple first. If you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because without Apple, there's no Microsoft, and without Microsoft, there is no Apple.
And without Xerox, there's none of it.
And without Xerox, there is none of it. You are right. Apple took that direct, but. Let's look at Apple. Steve Jobs. I don't think he had a degree. Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
He did.
He did? Okay, he had a degree. But he also from this one History Channel show I saw called American Genius. He came back from some trip from India, came into a garage of his friend Steve Wozniak and said, hey, I see you making something. Let's build it and sell it. I mean, he had no real track of what he wanted to do. But it just goes to show that anyone can make it.
On that dude, I don't want to.
Oh yeah,
I gotta say the word. Sorry, everybody for cursing. He shitted on this guy.
Yep.
And he did it, and it was his partner. But in the end, he definitely hit it on him.
He did some bad stuff.
Same thing with Mark Zuckerberg.
But if you look at it, a lot of those guys, they're up there, right? And if you actually see the people below them, right, like the guy that owns the Clippers now, I'm pretty sure he had an education from somewhere. He got hired at Microsoft, had stock options. So it's not just a single path to success, right? It doesn't mean, you got to go to college and you got a degree, you're going to be successful. It also doesn't mean that you didn't go to college, you're never going to be successful. That's not even the case either. It's all about hard work and motivation.
That's it.
If you're not motivated to work hard, if you're not able to take those steps, sometimes you got to take a risk. So I've been watching this series, shout out to 10,000 Hours. I don't know if it's still going or not, but my boy Devin on 10,000 Hours, one of the quotes he put, or one of the things he speaks about is, for you to succeed, you got to be uncomfortable. If you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable and doing things that you're not comfortable with, you won't succeed because you're just going to run back to the same old you.
Get out your comfort zone.
Yep.
Get out of your comfort zone. This is what I feel about college. I'm going to read what the definition of college is.
By the way, sorry for the rant.
No, we need that. This is the definition of college. An institution of higher learning, especially one providing a general of liberal arts education rather than technical or professional training.
Interesting.
So that's one definition.
Where's your source?
The source is
Webster's?
dictionary.com.
Dictionary.com. All right.
So it's pretty much what I got from this, and it's also saying rather than technical or professional training. So it's pretty much saying that we're going to teach you the theory of doing whatever you're going to do.
For sure.
Instead of technical training, we'll say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to
Practical
build.
things.
I'm going to teach you how to make this couch.
Or wire a panel.
Yeah, wire panel. College would be, I'm going to teach you the theory of building this couch.
How does
How does this couch work?
How does the electricity
Well,
flow through this panel?
Yeah, what is the? Well, that's even a better example. So what is the? Why?
Why do these things work?
Why do these things work? When the repair guy could tell you how these things work and what makes it work.
Oh yeah.
But this is what I feel about college. I think college is very good. I think college is very good depending on what you're going for, and I think depending on how much you're paying for it. College is an investment.
Yep.
What's the return on your investment?
Well, you say that, and just out of, remember I told you about that video of all those high execs talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know who it was, but one of the guys said college is a very, very expensive insurance plan that you may or may not be able to pay back when you graduate.
That is very, 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 very. That sounds very true. It might not be. It could be. It could be me. That is very true.
What you mean?
College is very, because you're hoping that it works out.
Yep.
You don't know. Look how many people that graduate who don't even know if they're going to have a job or not.
A lot.
A lot. But yet they still,
Hey.
they keep it moving and they stay focused. But I was getting back. I'm sorry, God. I thought we were having some technical difficulties, but I guess not. My only thing with college is that I just want to make sure, what am I going for, and is it worth it?
Yep.
And how I feel about that is, if I'm going to school to be a doctor, it makes sense to have I'm going to go high end. This could be wrong, so guys, don't kill me. A $200,000 loan debt.
I can see that.
That makes sense.
Between 100 and 2.
Because now I can make a medium income of I'm go low of $125,000 a year.
Oh, they can make more than that.
Yeah, but I'm just low.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like if you just a doctor and you ain't doing no extracurriculaurs, you just
I'm not even go to high end. I'm not gonna say you a specialist. You are a local.
There's a general practitioner.
A local general practitioner. Let's say you make
working
that
for a hospital.
Working for a hospital.
Yep.
It makes sense for you to go to school for that. But if I'm going to school, get a $200,000 debt, and I end up being a history teacher at a high school. Oh, $200,000 is much for that. So that's it.
You never know if they got like a master's or something.
So it can end up being $200,000.
Depends where they went and a bunch of other things. Let's just say 100 flat.
Let's say 100 flat.
Yep.
I don't think it doesn't make sense to me.
That's if they got their masters now.
That's
And
if they got
usually
masters.
teachers are required if you want to be like an upper echelon
Yeah.
teacher, paid and things like that.
It doesn't make sense to me. I think college is I think you should go there and you should find yourself. The thing I like about those guys is they went to college and like, oh man, I just happen to be one of the few who figured out what I'm going to do. So there's no need for me to stay. I figured out what I'm going to do.
Let's
I
go.
have the plans. So let me take this time to go execute it.
Yep.
Instead of waiting and getting my money. Oh man, this.
But those are also the guys that took a risk and
took a risk.
they took a risk and they were able to be uncomfortable doing whatever they were doing.
And now to work for those guys, you have to have a college education.
Exactly.
Unless they seen that they seen your skill,
Oh yeah,
or your skill speaks for itself.
project work or whatever.
Project work. like I see teachers. I know a lot of teachers. Shout out to all the teachers who teach our active children. I'm not gonna say bad, active children. I just looked it up for giggles. I looked up South Carolina. I can look right now. Let's take the average teacher. I'm going to skew the numbers a little bit, but it's pretty close. I'm going to just get the general number. A max teacher in South Carolina, they had 65,000 and 62,000 for South Carolina that they can make. I'm talking about that's at the max of their career.
Yep.
The peak of their career as a teacher, educator. The max
What was it? High school, middle school?
is a teacher
Any
because
teacher?
at that when you were teaching.
Well, you could be a professor at a college.
No, I'm talking about high school. I'm talking
Okay.
about
High school or
I'm
below.
sorry, K through 12.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, because the professor that can go from Ivy
You
League,
get tenured or whatever.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm talking about just the point where it matters.
That's right.
The people who teaching our kids from kindergarten to 12th grade.
That's right.
The max was 62,000.
Dang.
I looked up the max that a CEO makes, and the CEO is a correctional officer. It was like 45,300.
45,000.
Okay, so let's see what's the difference in that.
You said the max?
The max
43,300 and what was the other one? 60?
62. I just said 62,000.
There's about 20,000 difference.
20,000 difference.
Flat. Yep.
Flat. So, and that's flat. That's no
19, 20.
teachers don't get overtime.
But
Correctional officers do get overtime.
Uh-oh.
So they can make up a very large. Matter of fact, they can surpass them.
If they
In
got enough
overtime.
Yep. If they work Sundays
And
and
if
double
you a
time.
CO, they pretty much got the green light all the time for all the overtime they want.
But you know what the difference is, right?
What?
And I just thought of this because we're talking about it. And you'll laugh when I say it. You might not laugh,
Mm-hmm.
but correctional officers work for prisons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, prisons are privately owned.
Mm-hmm.
So teachers are usually paid by the
No,
government.
no. Some prisons are privately owned.
I thought there was
A lot of them.
quite a few.
But guess who pays them? They're,
Oh, yeah.
they're privately owned, but guess who pays them?
Oh, the government. I know.
The state still, it's a state
Yeah.
ran program.
But, they charge per night like a hotel. From what
I know
hear.
that.
And that's why a lot of people get convicted. That's a whole different topic
Yes.
in itself. I think prisons are sham sometimes.
Let me
But
ask
that's
this.
just me.
But by that same, even though schools are not privately owned, but
Oh, yeah.
they're privately ran
But
for the most part.
There's like-
the
there's
state have
usually-
guidelines,
there's a state board.
but
And
the federal government have guidelines, and there are boards that these jails have to follow.
fair enough. We got to look into that. I don't know much
No,
about the
I'm
prisons.
telling you because
I just heard there's a lot of private prisoners.
no, they are privately owned.
Owned
'Cause
prisons.
you know why? This how it works. The prisons are privately owned.
Yep.
But the government pays the prison,
That's right.
or the state pays the prison.
Yep.
You know why? Because now it's not the state problem to run it.
That's right. Yeah, I understand that all the way, but I feel like that's why there's a different leeway, I guess, or possible price point changes and things.
Because it's privately owned.
Yep.
If that's the case, they should make more money.
Maybe, but like you said, they get overtime and things like that, whereas a teacher can't. That's probably due to
Mhm.
state guidelines, federal guidelines, whatever it might be. Versus a prison, they get overtime just because that's like mandated by the prison or
But then-
whoever's owning the prison.
But then it still comes to the same point. That means what's wrong with our society? Where we'll pay the guy who watch our criminals.
More than the guy that watches our kids. Or is supposed to help our kids develop and grow and
To become good human beings.
Yeah, fulfill their potential. And I'm a true believer that every kid in this world has a lot more potential than they think they have.
On that is a drop mic line.
Hey, I'm telling you.
And it just, I'm like, wow. But then it just, when people say, oh, that's crazy, the government don't want people to go to jail, then you're like, well,
You got to think about it. You better watch it. I'm telling you. There's like documentaries and series and
Yes.
things about.
that's the truth.
Yep.
A prison in Kansas just sued the state. Well, this happened last year. Sued the state of Kansas.
For what?
You know why? Because they didn't have enough prisoners. And remember now, because the government signs contracts. Just like
Oh, yeah.
anybody have a private owned business that the government funds. You sign contracts. You have to give me X amount of adventures
yeah.
or whatever. The government was, I'm sorry, Kansas didn't have enough criminals to fill their jails. So now that goes to the point of, what would the state do What means will they go to help fill their quota of
Depends.
prisoners?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
That's scary.
Oh, it is.
That is scary. That's some total recall type stuff.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm telling you. And some people get charged without even needing to get charged.
Yes.
Some people get sent to jail for no reason also, and then come to find out 10, 20 years down the line, like, oh,
Yes.
sorry, my bad. Like, what do those people get?
But then it comes back to, I went on that to come back to college. So these teachers paid 70 and so we say master's 100,000.
Yep.
The CO, no offense to the COs, get your money. But I'm just saying that logically,
Yeah, it's kind of backwards. A little bit,
you know,
for sure. But like you said, if you look at it over the top without diving into the overtime and things like that,
Mhm.
they technically don't get paid as much. But if you look at the average teacher salary, they're approximately the same, right?
they're
You told
probably
me
the
it's
same.
about 40
Yeah,
or something like that.
and that's at the max. No,
Yeah.
the average teacher in South Carolina starts off like 33.
That's what I'm saying.
33,000. We know people starting off jobs way more than 33,000. I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Even the teachers get the summers off and they get all the breaks off and all that kind of stuff. But my thing is, but they went to school and.
Yeah.
But then we say, what's wrong with the educational system?
But it's imperfect everywhere you look. Like I'll just give you an example of education system in India.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my roommates, both my roommates, they grew up in India and they have an education from here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another family relative, uncle. He runs a school in India that's a private school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a discussion with him, and I mean, K through 12 over there is like 100 times tougher than K through 12 over here, because when
Mhm.
you get to 10th grade,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't choose what you're gonna be, say for example, we'll just give an example. Say you chose business, right? And you went business in 10th grade, so 10th, 11th, and 12th, you're focused only on business.
Mm-hmm.
Say 12th grade, you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this. It's too late. You cannot go back. You cannot change your major. Nothing. And then you got to take these final exams. And if you don't pass the final exam, and you only get it once, it's not like the SAT or the ACT where you take 3 times,
Mhm.
4 times, whatever. If you fail, you're not making college. Think about that. It's so high pressured.
That's crazy.
But it also comes down to the facts that there's a lot more people over there, and it's very, very difficult like to support all those people in schools and things
Mhm.
like that. Whereas over here, our K through 12 is like, bro, you might not even need to show up. You probably get an A.
Mm-hmm.
And over there, I mean, if you're not focused and you mess up once, you're out. But if you look at the reverse side of there, and this is one of the things my roommate was telling me, in college, it's a lot worse over there than over here because they just don't have the resources to provide for the amount of people.
Okay.
Right? Whereas over here, we don't have as many people, but we have the resources to provide for every student. Like, you go to the college, and they'll have computers and library or printer or whatever.
You don't have to wait in line.
Yeah, and over there, you might be sitting pretty bad until you find a spot to study or whatever.
Mm.
But it's nothing's perfect in any country. No one has like that perfect education system.
But some places are closer than others. That's why I think I want to go back to school. But before I go back, that's why I love technical schools. I actually wish that we broadcasting live from South Carolina right now,
To the
in Orangeburg. I wish Orangeburg had a 4-year community college.
Yep.
That was like the same price of like OC Tech, which is our local community college.
Bro, you can get a good degree at OC Tech.
Bro, everybody that know at OC Tech gets a job. Who graduates gets a job and does good.
Oh yeah.
And
That's one thing. That's one thing that people perceive incorrectly is the blue collar job.
And that's America.
That's something that's perceived so badly. And I talked about it the other day. I mean, they get paid. We ain't throwing numbers out there, but they get paid.
And so they get paid more than a lot of people that go. You think that's part of the? You think the big schools do that?
No, I don't think that's a big school thing. I don't know. I just think it's a perception. Look at movies, right? Schools ain't funded movies now, but if you watch a movie, right,
That's true.
it's like, oh man, the dad working some blue collar job doing some kind of metal work or something like that, comes home tired and all sad and things like that. But that's not
That
the
is
case.
Oh, that was deep just now.
Yeah.
That is perception they have, but they don't
you
realize.
pushing it out there to people who watch movies, to kids on TV, like.
If people realize how much money the garbage man makes, they will lose their mind.
Yep. Did I ever tell you about the janitor I heard about in San Francisco? He was a janitor / custodial guy for the subway, San Francisco subway system.
Mm-hmm.
He got caught, but every single one of those guys made six figures. Every single one of those guys made six figures.
What do you mean he got caught?
All right, so he was getting more than six figures. He was getting a lot more. He was up in the mid-high six figures because he was doing some shady overtime things.
Okay.
But if you're working, you're gonna get paid, man. They get paid. It was just funny. That guy he was hiding in a closet and things like that. But it just came to light that all the other people were making the same amount of money he was. He wasn't working and he got caught.
So that's the thing. He didn't get caught stealing money. He just was not doing his work as he should be.
He was doing extra work, but he really wasn't doing extra work.
But think about it. He still made that off the salary of being a janitor.
Yep.
Now, that's not a glory job.
No, not at all.
But it's a pay. The guys who work at our place of business are machinists. I didn't realize machinists made money until I met machinists.
Hey, they get paid too now. It's a specialty. Yes. That's something people need.
No, I think electricians have a good, I guess you'll say a good
pay.
Everybody knows electricians get paid, so they are looked at fondly. I guess
for sure.
Everybody respect it, but they get a little bit more like throwing at them. But we definitely want to keep going in more in depth with this.
About to run out of time though.
About run out of time. The guys gonna give you a stock of the day.
I'll give you an EFT XLY.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fund, and pretty much if you invest in it, shout out to Robinhood. If you ever get on Robinhood, free trading, no commission, how they make money.
Shout out Robinhood. He was my plug for Robinhood.
Hey, I got a day one. If you're on Robinhood, download it. It's a phone app. They finally got a web app. You can you sign up, chat your account. You can invest $1 starting tomorrow, 50 cents, 10 cents, whatever. ETF, though, XLY is the stock. Invest. 5-year return was 123%. Every year has been growing about 10 to 20%.
That's not make investing harder what it has to be.
And that's not anything at all. I mean, it's pretty safe investing. So check it out. Look at it. Do it.
My one investment stock is download Robinhood. Start going. Save a little bit of money. Invest in whatever you like. If you ain't Nikes, buy a Nike stock.
Yes.
If you drive a Dodge, buy a Dodge stock, which is Fiat Chrysler. If you drive a Ford, drive a Ford. If you spend all that doggone money, whatever clothes you're wearing, if it's a publicly traded company,
do it.
Buy a stock.
Yep.
Buy one stock. I bet you 2 stocks of that company will be cheaper than whatever you're wearing of them.
Exactly.
So that's my only advice, man.
And in the long run, you get paid. Especially if they succeed.
That's it. And they know they're succeeding because you got their stuff.
Because everybody buying their stuff.
That's it, man.
Unless you're Under Armour.
Eminem oh, man.
Don't worry about that.
I sold that.
Yeah.
All right, Eminem Podcast, baby.
Peace.
We out. Like and share. Like and share.
Subscribe.
Like and share.
We about to have Instagram.
Subscribe,
possibly.
like and share.
Twitter.
All right, guys.
Peace.